Hey, what's up YouTube? In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to remove a watermark to an image using Photoshop CC. So in the example right in front of you, I've chucked this image into Adobe Photoshop, and as you can see there are some watermarked little icons on it. Got these swirls, we've got this text over here, we've got this unwanted cut line and all these details on the side that I don't need. Now I thought about this tutorial because I was actually designing something and I needed to use this scroll in one of my designs, but because I'm not a member of Dreamtime stock photos, I cannot purchase. I do not wish to purchase the image. So how do I go about and remove the watermarked parts of the image so that I can get to this stage? I'm going to kick it off by removing this swirl here. Now the easiest way to go about this would be just to simply use the eyedropper tool, select the color, and then use the brush tool and just go over it like that. And that is one way to do it, but for tutorial's sake, because this is the technique that we're going to be using to remove more complex parts of the image, for example this area over here, I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the healing spot brush tool over here. If you just click and hold, you can see that it's got all these other options we can choose from, but we're going to choose the spot healing brush tool. Right, now you see that it has like this small kind of brush, circular brush. We're going to make that a little bit larger so that it doesn't take us so long to cover this area, and we do that by using the right square bracket icon on our keyboard a few times. Let's get it up a little bit higher, and then all we're going to do is we're going to click and drag over the shape just like that. The longer movements the better, until, as you can see, it's disappeared. So once again we're going to go in and we're going to remove this piece of this little area here. And if you are unaware, the way there's two ways you can zoom into the image. I forgot to mention, sorry about that. You can either hold down the command or control key if you're on PC and press the so command and the plus icon on your key on your keyboard, and that zooms you in. Press the minus key to zoom back out. But a much easier way, well this is basically preference, what I prefer to do is hold down the Alt key and then use the scroll wheel on my mouse to just zoom in like so. So once again, with the healing spot healing brush tool selected, we're just going to go over this bit of text just like we did with the swirl, and as you can see it's disappeared. We can do this again to this swirl here, and again to this text here. Now it may start to get a little bit more complicated past this point, because as you can see the other swirls and watermarked text are in areas where there's a lot of different kind of like colours going on, different shades, different levels of 3D shape going on. But if you just follow me, it shouldn't be too hard. So first of all, we're going to kick it off with this one down here. This is probably the easiest area. So still using that spot healing brush tool, we're just going to bring the size of the brush down a little bit with the left square bracket, and we're going to go over the top of it and we'll see what happens. Easy. That's that done. I'm going to move over to this one over here. Again, we're going to do the same technique. And there's some lines here that we can remove. No matter what we do, it's not entirely perfect. And the way to fix this is we're going to choose the clone stamp tool. We're then going to bring the opacity down to around about 40%, just by typing it in that little box. I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger with the right square bracket. We're going to hold down Alt select this kind of color around here, and we're just gonna lightly blend it in. Now on this side, or again, lightly blend. And on this side, make the brush a little smaller. Maybe lower the opacity again to 20%. Sort of all about playing around until you get the right opacity level to fix the issue. Now once that's a little bit more well blended, less sharp, we're going to go back to the spot healing brush tool again and go over it. Looking a little bit better. Let's zoom out. Not so much. Needs a little bit more work. Eventually you'll get there. Just takes a little bit of time. Let's get in there. Until you get to a level that you find acceptable. For YouTube tutorial's sake, I'm going to leave it like that. And now let's move on up to this. Let's try out this this text over here. This seems like a little bit of extra work. So we're going to kick it off with the spot healing brush tool, just like we did before. Oops. We're going to do what we can with this, blend as much as we can. And switch back to the clone stamp tool. And it does take quite a lot of time to get it completely right. But I mean, if you want good work, you got to put the effort in, right? These swirls are going to be a lot easier. This swirl here, which is actually off the shape, instead of cloning the white, what we can do, which is a lot more accurate, is actually select the polygonal lasso tool. For this part we need to create, we have to double click on this layer and click OK. This creates it as a new layer, an editable layer, and we're just going to simply click around the shape to rid the white background of the swirl. You can double click to reconnect it, or you can just do that. Click delete on your keyboard and off that goes. We're not going to be needing the background anyway. One other thing that I can teach you, a quick way of removing the whole white background, would be to select the magic wand tool, which is usually underneath the you'll be usually underneath the quick selection tool. Just click on the white and then make sure the layer is selected. Click delete on your keyboard. Command D or Control D to deselect. This area over here, we can simply use the what's this called, the rectangular marquee tool, and just click, hold and drag, make sure the layer is selected, hit delete, and off that goes. So that's it guys. Using those techniques, no matter what the image is, you will end up with a watermark free image.